everyone. Thank you for coming to my first YouTube video on my Salesforce and Songs channel. I am Elizabeth, and I'm going to be sharing with you the things that I learned from studying for my Salesforce exam and how I passed my first Salesforce certification, the admin exam. So tip number one that I have for you is if a certain way of studying isn't working, stop doing it. This is something that I learned the hard way. I had gotten a course and it was all videos, but for some reason, when I would watch the videos, I would get really sleepy and it just was lulling me to sleep. I wasn't absorbing the information, but I said, no, you gotta watch these videos, come on. And that seemed to not help me as much as I thought it would. So I ended up switching gears and getting the Focus on Force study guide, which is it does have some videos. They are shorter, and I ended up just going through each slide with the pictures, actively thinking about them. That helped me to stay more focused. For some reason, videos, if they're too long, if the person's talking in a monotone voice, I started zoning out and going, who knows where. Find what works for you. The other resource that I used was I would look up certain YouTube videos for different things that I didn't understand, and like short videos, like Salesforce Hulk. I really liked him because when he would explain concepts, he was exciting. He was like, this is how it is, and that got me more excited. It kept my attention. I guess I need a little bit more excitement when I'm studying. My second tip for the Salesforce admin exam when you're studying, try standing when you're studying. I feel like sitting, I was just like, ugh. I lost my focus sometimes. So try a combination, sitting, standing. If you got to put your computer on a table or on an ironing board, or you have a standing desk, awesome. Whatever you got to do, you can stretch, move around. That really seemed to help me breathe energy into my studying. My third tip would be index cards. I really liked index cards. Maybe you don't. That helped me. I would bring them with me everywhere. I would bring them to a doctor's appointment. Doctor's appointments, you sit in the waiting room for a good amount of time. So I'd keep my index cards in my purse and I'd take them out, and I'm waiting. And it really helped me to get the information. I would take the index cards on the treadmill, walk on the treadmill, go through the index cards. That really was an easy way to get extra studying time in while I was doing other things. My fourth tip, Focus on Force practice exams. Any practice exams you can get your hands on are going to help you. The thing with the admin exam is that they word things so strangely, and I actually thought that they were worded even more strange when I took the actual exam, but I was also really anxious. So that could be why the math just wasn't mathing in my brain when I was reading the questions sometimes. So I would say practice with those practice exams on Focus on Force. They're timed. It's very similar to the actual test, the way you can mark them for review. Just having that structure and that experience, I think, would really help you to panic less when you take the exam. My next tip, you hear this one time and again, spend time in the org. Spend time getting your hands dirty. When you have different concepts, go in there and make something up in the developer org. Sign up for one, they're free. You can also do it through Trailhead, and really try to understand those concepts, build apps, anything you can do, because when I was taking the exam, a lot of times I was visualizing the screen, the org screen, the Salesforce screen. Maybe it's talking about page layouts. I was imagining the page layout screen, how everything was laid out. And that really helped me to remind me where things are. What is this asking me? I think I'm a very visual person, so that really helped me. So now my second little portion of this video, test day. I actually took the test online and I was a little bit nervous about this. I have a Mac, so there are some privacy things that you might have to set up in order to download the software. I would recommend doing it some days before. Don't do it the day of, because that'll be really stressful for you. You already have enough stress taking the test. Another tip I would say, that day, make sure you meditate or maybe pray if you're a religious person. For meditating, I really love the Calm app, and they have a session on there called Focus. So I used one of those. It actually had me visualize sitting there, experiencing taking the test. I visualized taking the test. I visualized taking it calmly, and it really helped me calm down. I did it 15 minutes before the test. I went into the test, I feel a lot more level-headed than if I hadn't done it. I still did have nerves. Obviously, it's like you've been studying for this for how long, and it feels like there's so much weighing on this test, but just know you can always take it again if it doesn't go well. My next tip about taking the exam: while you're taking the exam, try to take it question by question. And obviously don't spend too much time on one question. You can always mark it for review and go back to it. And take some deep breaths. I definitely found myself halfway through the exam saying, oh my gosh, should I just close the computer? I don't think I passed this. So take some deep breaths, center yourself. You can do it. And you know what? If you close the exam halfway through, you're just giving up. So do not do that. Obviously, I didn't close the exam. I didn't close my computer. I kept pushing through. It might feel like the admin exam is a giant mountain. That's kind of how it felt like for me, just studying for the exam. It's so expansive. There's so much information. But once you get to the exam, it's not asking you every single thing that you learned, but having a good understanding of all the different concepts, the different exceptions to things, because there's a lot of little, a little exception to this one thing or a little exception to another thing. Make sure you're reading those help articles on Salesforce to get those extra tips. I hope that this video has been helpful for you to prepare for your Salesforce exam, and I will be cheering you on when you do pass. Stay tuned for my next video, which will be a song that I created to help you study different concepts of